All right, guys, this video is about the new Spider-Man film, Brand New Day. Uh, just go ahead and say this right now. That version of Spider-Man is not my favorite. Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and then, you have this guy. Don't get me wrong, he does a great job, but it's just, for the ones who's into the Amazing Spider-Man, you understand. It's just the quality is different. That's really what it is. I can't get attached to the new Spider-Man. Like, it's cool. It's probably not him. It's probably just how they make it. I don't know. It's just the whole thing is just, it's neat, but I can never just really get into it. Like, oh man, this is great. This is a great movie. I never felt that way out of all. This is his fifth film or something. I never felt that way out of all the films that, they made. So Brand New Day, Far From Home and all this stuff. They're good, but I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna down this hill. It's not touching the Amazing Spider-Man. All we want is for them to drop one more The Amazing Spider-Man film. Just one more. I'm gonna say this right now. I don't want no crossover. I don't want them adding other Spider-Mans to it. Like, no, bro. Like, his own film by itself. Now, you probably can put some other characters in there, but all this multiverse, no. We don't want that. We just want one more solid The Amazing Spider-Man film, and you can just end the series after that. We're not expecting to get 10, 9, like they're doing right now with the new actor. No, man, we just want one more The Amazing Spider-Man film and make it solid. Sony, the same people produced it, the same direct, everybody, the same cast, crew, everybody that made the sets, that did the special. We need the exact same people. We need them to make the Amazing Spider-Man. We need to make one more The Amazing Spider-Man film. Just one more. That's it. Get the stunt crew. Get the people who setting up the stages and stuff like all that stuff like that. We need the same exact people to produce one more Spider-Man film. Andrew Garfield, that's it, man. That's all we. And of course, drop the Blade film. Damn it, go ahead and drop the Blade film. But other than that, that's it. So I'm gonna say this right now. I watched the film. The film 2 hours and 35 minutes long. I never got bored. I'm gonna say that. It kept me entertained from the beginning all the way to the end. But I'm gonna say this too. The swinging special effects, garbage. He's web swinging, and I'm not giving out away the movie. I'm gonna give you like a little detail. When he had we had Mary Jane, and he was swinging through the city, whatever. If you look in the background behind him, you can automatically, it's a green screen. I know. Oh man, they not really swinging for real, man. I understand. I know they're not out there in New York really swinging in between. I know he's not doing that, really swinging in between buildings, and we all know that. But the whole point of it is it's supposed to look real. We know that, everybody know that. It's supposed to look real. So the actual part where he's swinging, and then you can tell they drop the quality in the green screen, in the quality of the green screen when they use the green screens when he's swinging around. It looks piss poor. You automatically can tell it's a green screen. It's like, oh my God, like I'm looking at the back. I'm like, dude, you can tell it's a green screen, bro. Like, it's terrible. It's terrible. So they dropped the quality on it. I'm gonna say this too. Now we all know the original Spider-Man. The first three that came out. At that time, the movie was crazy. Even now, you're still watching, right? So it's a lot of stuff that they got away with back in the day in the early 2000s. They dropped the 3 Spider-Man films. But at the time, it was crazy. Now, of course, if we were to watch it now, because all the stuff that we see now, it'll be a different story. But it's all 3 still. Even with the third one, let's be honest, they rushed the third one, and they could have possibly put out some more. But the third one was like they just it wasn't all that. They did pretty bad job. Now, I don't say it's terrible, but I don't know. Like there's a lot of people complaining about they rushed the movie and a lot of stuff they didn't like about the film. But anyway, if you were to watch it now, you'll see a lot of stuff. Like a lot of the effects and all that stuff like that. I understand that, 'cause we've been exposed to better quality now. But either way, those first three, it's good. The Amazing Spider-Man, I don't care what nobody said, that movie felt real, man. Like, it felt real. That is the perfect actor for Spider-Man. So I'm not knocking the new guy. He's doing great. They banged him out, right? Was this one necessary? I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, they can end it, but let's be honest, they're not gonna end it because the box office did crazy numbers. So you already know what they're gonna mean. You already know what that means. They're gonna make more of them. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I watched all the other ones. Now, granted, I ain't watched all of them at the theaters. I watched some at the theaters, some at home. When they drop the other ones, there's gonna be more of them. It's like Fast and Furious. They're gonna just keep making them till everybody die off or whatever. They probably do some more spin-offs. I don't know. But they gonna make some more because this is one they dropped. They did crazy numbers already. Was it necessary? Yeah, I like the way they ended it, but they're gonna make more of them. So it's like, okay, when is it gonna stop? When is it gonna stop? So, me personally, all of them, right? Like all the ones he came out with, they good, they cool, but they not like the Amazing Spider-Man. They not. They not touching the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. All we want, the fans, is one more. That's all you gotta do, one more. So I'm gonna say this: should you go watch it? Yeah, go watch it. It's a lengthy movie, but it's pretty common now, right? The average film gonna be 2.5 hours long. That's just what that is. Either deal with it or not. And he has people falling asleep. That's what that is. But I did go to kind of a late night matinee, but still, it's like these people that went, they younger than me. So I'm like, well, I don't know. But he did have people falling asleep in the film. But again, this newer generation of people, their attention span is not them. They've been growing up off of TikTok. All they know is TikTok. TikTok. They got the reels. Everything is like 0.3 seconds every time. So they brain rot. Their attention span is not there compared to mine, or especially older people. So I expected that to happen. But I'm like, well, the movie is 2 hours and 35 minutes long. What do you expect? So you had people falling asleep in the theater. But besides that, it was a cool little movie. You know what I mean? But again, they're gonna make more of them. Would I watch the other ones? Yeah, I'll watch them when they come out. But will I go to the theaters to see them? Like, nah, I'm not gonna see every single one of them at the theaters. You know what I mean? So this is what it is. Whenever it come on streaming, I'll catch it when I catch it. But other than that, it's like, I never was like, oh, they came out with new, Spider, I gotta see that. It's like, nah, I'm gonna watch it. I'll go watch it. That's how I always felt about all of them that came out. Now, the Amazing Spider-Man, I didn't know what to expect. When I watched the first one, oh man, this is crazy. This is crazy. Bought the damn movie on Blu-ray. Watched the second one. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch this. Watch that. That was crazy. That movie, movies came out, a long time ago. So when that came out on DVD, the second one, I bought that on Blu-ray. All we want is a complete story. Just finish it, man. Drop one more, and we're gonna be happy with that. And then of course come out with the Blade film with Herschel Ali. But the new one that came out, regardless of what I think, it did crazy numbers. Now, yeah, people complaining saying, oh, the movie was mid, it wasn't all that. I'm like, well, that's normally how all of them are. They good enough. It's like going to Jack in the Box. You know what I mean? Like, you probably short on money or whatever, or it's nowhere open, and no one else is open in your city or your town. Only Jack in the Box. So you get the tacos. The tacos, they not all that, right? But they good enough. Same thing with McDonald's. McDonald's is the best food, but it's good enough. Now, granted, it has a lot of health issues and stuff like that. But we know all that. But at the end of the day, it's good enough, right? So at that point, if you get people just to be like, okay, yeah, it's good enough, then you'll keep them coming back. Now, if it's terrible, if it's terrible one time, the second time it's terrible, then you're gonna start losing customers. So the fact that the movie's been pretty consistent as far as the quality, it's like, okay, well, I know what to expect when I watch this. When I watch the Spider-Man. So when I watched this one, I'm like, okay, what's this? Again, I was right. It's the quality is consistent. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's consistent. It's like, okay, it's good enough. So that's how I feel about this new Spider-Man guy. Again, he's a cool actor. It's just how they make the film, the movies. It's like I never just really got caught up in the films like that. Matter of fact, What is it? What's the guy name? I was about to say Rey Mysterio. That's not Rey Mysterio. Not Doctor Strange. God dang, I forgot. I'm leaving it alone. I'm dragging it too long. But the guy with the cape, and I forgot his. That's troll. I can't even think of his name right now. But anyway, the magician guy. The guy with the red cape. Yeah, I can't think of his name, but whatever. He came out with two of them. Now the second one, it caught me off guard. The first one was cool. Don't get me wrong. The first one was cool, but the second film was crazy. I'm like, oh man, this is nice. This is nice. So, I don't know, man. So go watch the film. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you watch the other ones, you already know what to expect. So I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not gonna give you any spoilers out there like that, but it's on the same level as the other ones. I'll say it's a perfect example. It's the best example I can give you. It's on the same level as the other ones. So if you watch the other ones, this one's gonna be the same. It's not gonna be like, oh wow, that was great. No. I promise you that. Throughout the whole film, nothing in that film amazed me. I told you guys before, it's not great, it's not terrible, it's good enough. So that's just how they make, that's how they've been making them, right? It's like, it's just been good enough. So if you watch the other ones, go ahead and watch it. If you didn't watch it, the other ones, I don't know why you're watching this one, because like you're just gonna miss out on a whole lot of storylines. You have to watch the other ones to watch this one. So if you one of them people that say your friends probably dragging you, maybe your dad or your mama dragging you to the movie, they want to see it, I guess, go see, you're not paying for it, go ahead and see it, but you're gonna miss out on a lot of stuff, a lot of parts of the story, because it all comes together. But again, I'm gonna say it one more time. If you watch the other ones, if you're a fan of the new Spider-Man, you already know what to expect. If you watch all the other 3-4 films, this one is no different. It's on the same level. So with that being said, my rating, 0 out of 5, I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it. I'm kind of comfortable giving it a 4. I'm not gonna get no higher than that, but I'm not gonna disrespect him and say, oh, 3.5. Like, I'm gonna give it a. You know what? I'm gonna give it a 3.8. I'm gonna give it a 3.8. I'm gonna say that. So it's cool, and the guy who played Punisher, me personally, he kind of overacted, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So that I didn't really get tied up to the Punisher, even though Punisher, he's a cool character. But again, he's not the Punisher. The original Punisher, was it the 80s? What year was that came out? If y'all old enough, y'all know about the original Punisher movie. The same guy who played in Rocky, the Russian guy, I can't think of his name, but he played in other movies too, like the Expendables. But the fast way I can give you guys an example who he is he was the Russian guy, the blonde haired Russian guy in Rocky. And you already know, if you watch Rocky, he destroyed him. That's the same guy who played the Punisher. So that's the kind of Punisher, that man, if I'm gonna go watch this again, somebody gonna be Prime or somebody gonna have it. I'm gonna watch that movie again. I haven't watched it so long, but that's a good movie. The Punisher, it's Marvel. It's like, you gotta understand, some of these characters, you can't be PG-13 in these characters, man. Like, they do that with every character. Like, oh my God, like, I'm surprised in the movie, Spider-Man movie, he was bleeding. I'm like, okay, now they showing blood. Okay, wow, like, God damn, like, it's just, and they say it's Disney. I understand that, but it's like, bro, like, you gotta make this stuff mature. Like, not saying you gotta be cutting people's heads off, nothing like that, but it's like, it gets to the point where it gets corny. It's like, okay, well, we got a character to punish. He's supposed to be putting in work, but it's all like Disney-ish. It's like, dude, like, I want the Punisher that was in the original film. Now I watched the 2 other ones. They came, I think it's like 4 in total. I watched the original one. I watched the second, the remake, and then I kind of watched the third one. I just couldn't get into it. I just stopped watching it. But you just can't make all these characters PG-13. That's what's really killing it as well. So the Punisher, the guy who played the Punisher, don't get me wrong, he's a good actor, but I don't like, it's just him as the Punisher. It's like, I'm not feeling it. You know what I mean? I'm not feeling him as the Punisher. But at the end of the day, me personally, I believe that he overacted in that movie. So, that's just me, man. But again, I know they got the TV series of him, something like that. That's fine. If you're a fan of it, that's cool. But I'm a fan of the original Punisher. So that that movie came out in the 80s. If you want to know, look it up. I know you should be able to watch it for free, streaming or whatever. But that's the kind of Punisher I want. I know it's a different time and stuff, but it's like, You know, but again, you know, I'm surprised, you know, Spider-Man was bleeding. I'm like, okay, wow, now they trying to make it a little realistic, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, the movie, I give it a 3.9. This is my personal opinion. When I watch it again, maybe if I do, it's gonna be later on down the road. It's not one of the movies like, oh, I'm gonna watch it again like tomorrow. So no. If I'm gonna say this before I end the video, if I never watch that movie again, I won't regret it. It's like, hey, whatever. I watched it, it was okay, consistent like the other ones, and I'm like, all right, whatever. You know, the numbers they made, you already know they're gonna make more of them. So I'm like, all right, we'll see how they go. When the new ones drop, I will watch them. I might not watch them when they first come out or whatever, or what, I don't know. But I will watch them at some point. I'll say that. So, but other than that, I give it a 3.9. You know, if you didn't watch the movie, go watch it. But I'm gonna say this too: if you got a short attention span, don't waste your time. Don't waste your money, man. Just wait till it come out on streaming or something, or maybe watch. You know, people got some. They dropped the god dang, when they started dropping the scenes or whatever like that. I don't know why I can't think about. I'm just foggy today. So yeah, just wait till people release the spoilers and then you can just do it like that. But if you don't have a long attention span, you know, don't waste your time or money. The movie is 2 hours and 35 minutes long. It's not boring, but it's not great. I'm saying that again, like I say, it's good enough. I give it a 3.9, that's it. So, all right, guys.